Long after Pangu split the chaos, the sky stretched like an overturned blue crystal, and the earth lay heavy with golden clay. But the world was empty. No birds sang in the clouds, no frogs croaked by the streams, not even a leaf stirred in the wind. Nüwa wandered alone, her body human above the waist, serpentine below, her eyes always reflecting the faint glow of stars. She passed towering mountains, where pine forests rolled like green oceans, yet no butterfly flitted between them. She glided over still lakes, where moonlight silvered lotus blooms, yet no dragonfly disturbed the mirrored surface. When her fingers touched damp earth, she paused. The fine clay mixed with river water felt warm and soft in her palm, as if cradling dormant power. Why is the world so perfect, yet lacks those who can speak with me? Her voice echoed in the valley, answered only by rustling leaves. Loneliness coiled around Nüwa's heart like an invisible thread. She longed to see figures running across the earth, to hear lively laughter. Then a bold idea took root. I will create beings like myself to fill this world with warmth and life. Nüwa paused by a clear river, formed from Pangu's tears, where each drop sparkled with starlight. Kneeling on the bank, she plunged her hands into the riverbed, mixing fine clay with water into a warm, malleable mass. I will create beings in my image, beings who can walk and speak, she murmured, her fingers deftly shaping tiny heads, slender limbs, and delicate features. The first clay figure rested in her palm like a sleeping infant. Nüwa breathed gently into its lips, a breath filled with the vital energy of heaven and earth, carrying the scent of grass and the softness of clouds. In an instant, a miracle unfolded. Its lashes fluttered, dark eyes opened, reflecting her loving face. "Mother!" The child's voice, as clear as melting spring snow, rippled through the silent valley. Nüwa's eyes grew misty. She held the tiny life to her chest, feeling the warm throb of its heart, the first human heartbeat in the world. She named it Human, wove a cradle from soft vines, and taught it the names of every flower and herb. When the child first stumbled into her arms, Nüwa knew. The age of loneliness had ended, and the song of life was about to begin. In the days that followed, Nüwa molded clay figures tirelessly. Her fingers flew through the damp earth, creating diverse lives, some with long black hair, others with bright eyes, some strong as sturdy trees, others gentle as blooming flowers. Each new life laughed as it stood, curious hands touching the scales of her serpentine tail. But the vast earth remained empty. How could her hands fill every corner? One evening, seeing a vine sway by the river, Nüwa had an idea. She plucked a tough green vine, dipped it in golden mud, and swung it high into the air. Mud fell like stardust, each drop transforming into a crying infant as it hit the ground. Rubbing their eyes, tiny hands explored the new world, their voices lisping, "Mother." Hundreds of little lives laughed and bounced around her, like spring flowers in bloom. Nüwa smiled, amazed that creation could be both grand and gentle. Her handcrafted children were precious, and those born from the vine shone like stars. She divided humans into men and women, taught them to call each other father and mother, and watched them walk hand in hand into forests and plains to build their homes. Years later, Nüwa met the first aging human on a high mountain. The once strong youth now had snow-white hair, his steps unsteady. "Mother, I'm tired," he murmured, leaning against her, his breath faint. Nüwa felt a pang of heartache. Were her creations as fleeting as morning dew? She gazed at their villages. Men fished by the river, women sewed animal hides under trees, children chased colorful butterflies. Yet some fell, returning to the earth as dust. Nüwa traveled the world, watching grow and fade, until she understood life's truth. When flowers die, they bear fruit, and fruit holds new seeds. Life must not be a brief spark, but an eternal torch. She called men and women together, revealing the secret of procreation. Your love will birth new life, like seedlings from the soil. When the first couple knelt before her with a newborn baby, Nüwa touched the infant's forehead. Remember, every life is a child of heaven and earth. Cherish each other as you cherish yourselves. From then on, humans learned to sustain life through love, keeping their tribe's fire burning forever. 1,000 years later, human footprints dotted the earth. They had learned to make tools from stone, build homes from branches, and sow grain in fertile soil. Nüwa watched them grow from clueless beings to thinking, creating people, proud yet worried. How would they survive floods and wild beasts? She descended to earth, teaching them. Build houses from strong stones, hunt with sharp arrows, fire clay into pots for storing grain. She even turned her hair into thread, teaching women to weave warm clothes. She infused starlight into metal, letting humans mark the passage of time. Remember, true strength lies not in conquering nature, but in living in harmony with it, Nüwa told all humans from a mountain peak. Your bodies are made of clay, your veins flow with river water. The sky is Pangu's gift, the earth your cradle. Cherish every plant, revere every river, for they are your family. Even today, when people gaze at the stars at night or feel spring rain on their skin, they remember Nüwa's legend. Some say she later mended a collapsing sky, others that she became part of the earth, her tenderness in every inch of soil. But through all tales, humans remember, our lives began in a goddess's loneliness and love, in a handful of warm clay and a breath of hope.